Hey guys, welcome to Jackson, Mississippi. Now behind me is the biggest reservoir in the state. Now I'm not down here on vacation purposes, I'm down here for business, right? So every month I travel somewhere around the country to meet with like-minded individuals in the real estate investment world, right? So why am I always spending all this extra money and time traveling? Because I think it's one of the best returns on your money. You get to build a relationship with top individuals that are just like you, and they're more likely to share information with you, and you're more likely to share with them. And let me explain. If you're in your own local market, you're not as free with the information because you're talking to competitors, right? Now, if I go to Florida or here in Jackson, Mississippi, and I'm talking to individuals who have successful businesses here, I'm going to share with them and they're going to share with me what I wouldn't share with someone right there in my local market, if that makes sense. Now, this video is going to be on all the different ways to learn the business. So a lot of y'all are new in the business or have never done a deal, and so you're watching these videos right now trying to figure out what's the best way to kind of become a real estate investor, because there's not a lot of information out there, at least that's what it seems like. But guys, there's a ton of information everywhere. Starting out, you can just find blogs all over online, right? They're free. There's a ton of information. You can just Google how to be a wholesaler, how to be a rehabber, and there's just endless amounts of information. Watching YouTube videos is absolutely one of my favorite ways, and one of the ways that I contribute to saving my business when I started, because it's a free way to learn, because I went and paid a ton of money with one of those big training companies, which we'll get into, and it about bankrupted me. So what else is out there that's free? Well, you can get on podcasts. There's a ton of podcasts out there, including the one that we're about to put out here in a few weeks, the Investor Army podcast. So podcasts are a great way to learn the business. Now also, you can just go buy books. You can buy used books. You can buy digital books online for pennies, literally 10, 15 cents. Go on Amazon and buy as many as you can. For like 20 bucks, you can buy more books that'll take you years to read. So there's a ton of free or relatively inexpensive ways to learn the business. And then as you kind of step up that ladder, you go to the REI clubs and the meetup groups. You're looking at $5, $10, $15, $25 a weekend. But they have great speakers that travel around the country, and they come to these clubs and they give speeches, or they have just group interaction where you can learn the business from local investors. It's also a great place to network and find joint venture partners, money partners. So I absolutely love going to the REI clubs for new investor purposes, and I still go to them from time to time. Now, as you kind of progress, you get into a little bit more of expensive types of education, home study courses. They're ranging from $100 to $1,000, some of them a little bit more. Now, where are you going to find these? Well, you can Google them, you can look online, but also as you go to the REI clubs, you're going to have traveling speakers coming around pitching their programs. So there's going to be a lot of them that you can find on every different exit strategy. There's ones on how to raise money. There's ones on how to do wholesaling, how to be a landlord. So there's a ton of them out there, guys, and I have so many of them, right, that they literally stack up to the ceiling in my closet. So I think it's one of the best returns on your investment is home study courses. But if that's not enough, guys, sometimes you need a little bit of hand-holding, right? You need a mentor. Now, how are you going to get a mentor? Well, there's only one of two ways. You either go work for someone in your area for free and kind of intern and work for them and trade your time for their value if you don't have money to pay them, or you're going to have to pay one. I mean, it's simple as that's what it comes down to, right? And so it's not cheap to get a mentor. These individuals are very successful. Their time is worth a lot of money, similar to what a doctor or lawyer's is. You're gonna have to pay for them, or you're either gonna have to put a ton of time working in their office and creating and adding a ton of value for them. But it is one of the best ways to learn the business. Now then you have on the far end spectrum, you have all these national guru companies, right? You hear about them coming on your radio and on commercials saying, we're coming through your town, we're gonna teach you how to change your life, we're gonna teach you how to make $100,000 a deal, guys. This is, in my opinion, the single worst thing you can ever do for your business, right? I absolutely almost went through bankruptcy going through one of these companies. I know so many individuals whose basically life and career is destroyed within a few weeks because they realized that they got duped, they got scammed. Now, we're not going to say names, but there's a lot of them out there, so just be very wary if you're going into a boot camp situation and they're saying, okay, now buy our $25 or $50 or $100,000 program, because you need to really understand what you're getting. And a lot of times what you're paying for is you're not paying for the education, you're paying for the event, right? To pay for them to get these expensive hotels, to send their employees out there, send their workers out there. So guys, one of the best pieces of advice I can give you is please be very wary and do your research on these companies. You know, make sure that they have a good approval rating, and make sure that their approval rating was not done by surveys when people bought the program, but after they went through the program, because there's a huge difference. A lot of them are suckering people in because they go through their program, or they go sign up for the program and they're all excited because they think they're changing their life. They fill out a survey right then and there before they've even gone through the program, and they hit them when they're at their peak period of elation and excitement because they're about to change their life and their thought process, right? So everybody gets a 10 out of 10. and then they go use that to market their program, and you're like, wow, these people have 999 out of 1,000, 10 out of 10s. So be very careful, make sure that they have after going through the program approval rating of being very successful, because you don't want to get caught in a situation where you put up $50,000 and you can't get that money back. So you have this huge range of different ways you can learn the business. Now, all the free ways, there's a ton of information. I just think it's the best way to go for most of y'all right now. You don't just want to jump in and spend a lot of money like I did, because it really put me in a tough spot. So I don't kind of condone that type of way as far as getting in when you're just starting out. But as you progress, yes, there's a lot of different things that you can pay for, specialized education on specific exit strategies. Now, what's the best thing that you can do? Well, as you start to get deeper into the world of real estate investing, you're going to meet more people. You're going to have more opportunities to join small groups, mastermind groups, right? So mastermind is a group of high-level individuals that kind of meet around the country from time to time. Now, they're not cheap, but if you're going to spend a lot of money, this is definitely the place to go, because if you're going to go pay $50,000 to some national guru course that's going to give you a coach that's never done a deal teaching out of a binder, right? It's not going to help you. What good is that going to do, right? If you're going to spend that type of money, you need to get in a high-level mastermind. But some of them have limitations that you can't just get in. They have deal limitations, income limitations. You can't just get in unless you've done 25 or 50 deals, right? So this is something that you have to work your way up to. But if you travel around the country, guys, and you go to little group meetings and little retreats with the top investors that you know are being successful, this is going to be your best chance to network with individuals, which is why we're down here. They become some of your good friends. It's really going to help your business. You're going to help their business because you're sharing what's working for you, and vice versa. So as you kind of grow in your business, this is what I highly recommend, is that you find a network that you can associate with, that you can go and grow with as well, because it's just going to be a win-win for everybody around. So that's really it, you guys. You got all the free different options. You got we got some geese over here by me, but you got books, you got blogs, you got podcasts, you got YouTube videos, which is the best way to go as far as getting a free education. Then you got your REI clubs, which is a relatively small amount. Then you've got some like weekend boot camps and seminars that kind of go up, the home study course systems and all the different ways to buy programs at home, CD courses, audio courses. And then you kind of got going into the mentorship world. Do you find a mentor? Do you work for a company for free, an intern, right? And then obviously, you know, what I think is the worst choice, which I highly advise to not go with, is those big companies that are charging $50,000 without being able to prove to you that they're really creating any value for you, without really any success stories behind it that they can prove, right? So be very careful. I know a lot of individuals who've been pressured into taking out IRA money or credit cards to buy these programs, and then once they're in, they won't give them their money back, and it puts you at a huge disadvantage starting the business. So be very wary of those. Make sure that you've either known somebody that's gone through the course and been successful, or that you've gotten personal referrals, is what I would say, because if you don't know anything about it, it's probably not something you want to bet the rest of your life on. And then if you can get into some high-level masterminds, this is one of the best ways to go, one of the highest returns on your dollar. Now, it's not cheap. You could be paying $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 or more, depending on which one you're in, but it's going to be a great return on your investment. You're going to learn a ton from these high-level individuals. So I hope that helps as far as the different ways you can learn the business, and I hope you go out there and become successful as a real estate investor and come back to the channel, and we'll continue on creating free videos for you. So this is a great way to learn. Watch this channel, any other channel that you can find out there, because I think it's going to help you in your business. Have a good day.